Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to AJ101 Criminal Law Online. And by way of introduction, my name is Tony Farrar, and I am your instructor for this semester. A little bit of background on myself. I have over 34 years in law enforcement, retiring in December of 2015 as the Chief of Police for the Rialto Police Department in San Bernardino County. My education consists of a master's degree in police administration, a master's degree in business administration, and a master's degree in criminology and police management from the University of Cambridge Institute of Criminology in England. Now, my goal for this semester is to make this class as enjoyable as possible, but to also have you learn as much about policing as you can, and of course, the career I hope that each of you pursue. So to begin with, I wanted to show you this awesome photograph of the Bahamas because we just came back from summer and we're trying to get back into the fall semester. And even though it's hot outside and it is beach weather, we're all going to be back in class instead of at the beach or places like the Bahamas. So I thought I would throw this up there as just kind of a reminder of summer. What we're really here for, though, is to go over the course syllabus and to get you as much information as you can regarding some of the expectations of the class and what have you. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. And some of that things I'll take a little bit more time on, and some I'm just going to kind of gloss over, but here we go. So this is, of course, the class syllabus, and this year we're going to be working in Canvas instead of Blackboard, so there might be a few minor changes to the way things look or even the format of things, so we'll go over some of those changes as well. The course, of course, is criminal law, AJ101. The section number is 3651, and we are in fall of 2017. And yes, this is the online course. I already gave a little bit of an introduction, but here's some information about me if you need it. And my office is going to be at the Menifee campus this year versus the San Jacinto campus. I don't have an office number yet to give to you, but I will. But I will have office hours and things like that. So the address for the Menifee campus is here. Email is, of course, the best way to get a hold of me. I do have a Twitter account, but be gentle because I'm not that fast at it yet, so I'm just kind of getting up to speed. You can also message me through the Criminal Justice Club on Facebook, where I included a link here in the syllabus. And finally, if you want to know anything else additional about CTE, the career training and education, or the career technical education component, there's a link to the website as well. My office hours for non-online students and even online students, I'll be on campus from 12:30 to 1:45, available for anybody, and also from 3:30 to 4:45. Same on Thursday, so Tuesday and Thursday are my general office hours. For online students, Wednesday and Thursday nights, I will be online from 7:30 to 9:30, so you can get a hold of me if need be. I will also have a general question discussion board area, so if you have some type of question that you just want to throw out there, perhaps myself or even another student might have the answer, and we can all participate and try to get everybody's questions answered as well. If you do send me an email, which again is the best way to contact me, please preface it by an example here, header, so I kind of know who you are and what class you're in. I have 8 classes, and it is difficult sometimes for me to keep track of every single person. So if you could do as the example shows right up here, an example for our AJ101 the section number 3651 criminal law, and then go ahead and send me your message, and make sure you put your name at the bottom of the message so I know exactly who you are and I can get back to you as quickly as possible. I am pretty good with email, so if you email me, I will get back to you within 24 hours, and I promise, and more than likely it'll be sooner than that. And again, email is the best way to get a hold of me. Anything written that you want to send to me, please do it including all assignments. Submit them in Microsoft Word, not some different type of word processor format like WordPerfect, because there really is no guarantee I'm going to be able to open it. So if you do everything on Microsoft Word, we're all consistent. The computer can read it, and I'll have no issues with any assignments that you might have to upload or send. Take note that this syllabus is a living document and subject to change during the semester. So you need to kind of be aware of that. So monitor Canvas. Okay, I'd like you to look at Canvas twice a week if possible. And I know that's difficult, but keep an eye on the announcements and things like that, because at the end of the day, you are responsible for test dates, quizzes, term papers, and anything else that changes in this course. Now, I again will give you as much notice as I can, and I will send out a lot of information to you, but it's your job to kind of help me keep track of things, okay? So with that being said, we'll move on to the course description. A little bit of information. We're going to talk about the historical development, philosophy of law, and constitutional provisions. We'll look at a lot of definitions, classifications of crimes, and the application to the system of criminal justice. Legal research, study of case law, methodology, and concepts of law as a social force. Now, I know that sounds kind of legalese-ish, if you will, but we're going to have a lot of fun in this class as long as you're willing to participate and learn. And that's really, at the end of the day, what we hope that you get out of it, that you can walk away with more than you came into the class with. So the textbook, here's some information on the textbook. You have the authors, the title, the ISBN number there, and I even included a photo if that helps you figure out which edition. It is the 2017 edition of California Criminal Law Concepts. The book is available at the San Jacinto and Menifee bookstores, but I'm sure as intelligent students as you are, you have your own places that you rent, buy, and what have you. Listed in the syllabus, we talk about the California Penal Code, and we say that it's optional here, but honestly, you can find everything you want online. So this Penal Code, it's not a primary book. If you have one, that's great, because from time to time, you may need to refer to it. But you can also access, again, the Penal Code online, and this is going to help you as we discuss some of the codes. I included a link here to legalinfo.ca.gov, which is a great website to go to, and you can just type in the code information and get whatever you want. A little bit more on course guidelines. Just keep in mind it is a quick pace class with a lot of reading information that I'm going to give to you. You really have to keep up with the readings, okay? Do not rely just on the PowerPoint lectures or the notes that I may post to get through the class. You are going to need a textbook in this class. I'm just putting it out there now. Some of the legal terms initially may seem a little bit difficult to understand, so you're going to have to read the chapters to really understand them, to get some context. I will do my best to go through a lot of different things, but I can't possibly cover every single thing in the textbook, so that's where you come in and you fill in the context and some of those blank spots by reading the chapters and some of the notes and things like that. If you have any type of problem with a concept, let me know by email, or you can post it on the general discussion board in Canvas. And again, myself or even another student might be able to respond and answer your question, but I will monitor that closely, and if anybody posts a question, I will get back to you as quickly as possible. So, some of the expectations. The expectation is that you will participate and complete a variety of activities that are listed below that will help you achieve those learning objectives. The first one being reading the required materials, the PowerPoints, the lecture notes, the articles, the chapters of your textbook. Number two, viewing the weekly videos relating to each chapter, because sometimes those articles or those audio clips or case studies or videos help add context to the subject matter that we're talking about. So it's easy. We can just try to memorize it and read the line in the textbook and try to memorize, but you want to do more than that. You want to not only know what the definition of something is, but you want to be able to apply it whether as a student in a learning environment or as you go on into your career field, hopefully in policing, where you can apply whatever it is that we're talking about. And that's where the context part comes in. Number 3, participating in thoughtful and timely discussions. Thoughtful meaning that you put some thought into the discussion board subject that we're talking about. Timely meaning that you do it timely within the time frame, and there are time frames in there, and you'll see more of that as we get further into the syllabus. Not just replying, yeah, I agree. Give me some thoughts on what you think about certain things. Number 4, completing online and timed quizzes. 5, completing online and timed exams. And number 6, complete the midterm writing assignment. Do not panic. I will help you get through the writing assignment. You will be okay. Take note, as it states right here, failure to participate in discussion boards or missing quizzes or exams or failing to turn in any other assignment or a combination of those may be cause for you to be dropped from the class. So since I don't really take attendance, I need to know you're out there and that you're still participating in the class. That's one of the reasons for the quizzes on every chapter as we kind of go through. If you're not sure about how you are as far as being ready or prepared for an online course, I included a link here that will take you to some video tutorials and some other information to kind of help you gauge whether or not you're up for an online class. So again, I will make this as fun and interesting as possible, but you have to put something into it as well. And what I'm hoping is that you'll stay on top of assignments and things like that. Okay, participating in discussion boards. There's going to be a total of 4 discussions. The first of which is pretty simple. It's a survey at the beginning of the class. It's the check-in. And the other 3 will be on relevant topics relating to law enforcement or the courts. And while these discussions are not given letter grades, they are a means whereby I can kind of gauge your ability to interact with other classmates or even me on important topics. So while they're not graded with a letter grade, they are required and they are given a credit, no credit mark. So they do count. So please make sure that you do the discussion boards. And again, failure to complete those discussion boards assignments are going to be considered the same as not completing any other type of assignment, okay? Technology responsibility. This is a big one. And because we've had some problems with this in the past, so please listen closely. You are responsible for your computer equipment and internet connection independent of the campus. You will need to plan your coursework to be able to accommodate computer-related problems and issues. And these will not be grounds for relaxation of deadlines. So just because you're having an issue doesn't mean you're going to get an automatic extension on something. If there's a super big problem, you need to communicate with me so we can work out whatever solution you and I can work out, okay? If you're unsure on whether a transaction or something has gone through, it's your job to find an alternative means of providing or completing the assignment as required. So have a backup plan, okay? Don't wait until 10:30 p.m. to do your quiz on Tuesday night when it's due at 11 o'clock, because if you have some type of computer issue, you may not make it on time. And honestly, that's not going to be my fault. That's going to be yours. So do things give yourself a little buffer in there is all I'm trying to say. Moving on, some functions of Canvas. So we're on Canvas this year instead of Blackboard, so there's a few minor changes in the way things look, okay? And for the most part, a lot of information will be somewhat similar, but it's just going to be formatted a little bit different. So modules, this is where your weekly assignments are going to be located. And I'm going to title each module so you'll know exactly which week the information is for. Example, Module 1 will be titled Week 1. Now, Week 1 will contain everything you need to get through Week 1. So these weekly modules are going to contain Audio lectures, because I will do audio lectures. I'll also post just a regular PowerPoint, if you will, so you have an option there. Links to videos and articles, exams and quizzes, or any related guides that I might post. And the goal here, again, is for you to be able to find everything for each week in these weekly modules. Okay? Discussions. This is where group discussions will take place on various topics. I will also have a discussion board for general questions, as I said before. So if you just have a question that other classmates might even be thinking about, you can post it there and I'll respond to it. Also, in these discussion board areas, I may post links to videos or articles or similar. Announcements, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. This is where you're going to find announcements for the class, including relevant information on changes to exams, quizzes, upcoming information that I need you to know about. So please monitor Canvas so that way you know what is changing. Look at the announcement emails that come through. Gradebook. The gradebook function is here, and you can monitor your grades as they are posted, because when you have an online class, right when you're done, that grade will calculate automatically and it will be posted. Now, if you have an issue with a question, okay, and that doesn't mean that every question you should have an issue with, but if you truly find a mistake, send me an email and let me know, and I will look into it and I will get back to you. So don't panic. And if it comes down to the fact that there was a mistake made on the question, or the wrong answer might have been checked or something, because mistakes do happen, I will fix it and I will credit everyone appropriately as far as points go. So just get a hold of me if there's some type of issue there. Extra credit, this is the area where you can find an extra credit assignment. There will be one or two, but no guarantees. Okay, so please understand, do the best you can on every other area. Make sure that you keep up to date on your quizzes, because basically there's a quiz every week, and I'll show you how the schedule works in a few minutes as we get closer. But also understand these extra credit assignments are date specific. So when they open up, you'll have a certain amount of time to complete the assignment before it closes. So read that extra credit assignment. Instructional methods, I'm going to kind of let you read that at your leisure. Academic support, the same thing. Same with the school website. Code of conduct, now this is an online course, so keep in mind there is kind of what they call an etiquette, okay, or netiquette, if you will, when we deal with things like the internet or cyberspace or what have you. And basically, it's a set of rules for behaving properly online. Now, I gave you some information here that I'm going to let you read at your leisure, but what I want you to understand is that when we have discussions and things like that, everyone's opinion is important. And we're all, for the most part, we might think differently. A lot of us might agree, some of us might disagree, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, these discussion board topics are relevant, they're interesting, they make you think, and again, because we're all a little bit different, we might have differences of opinion. So what we want to do is have a good discussion about things, but at the end of the day, again, we all want to learn. So let's be very professional in our responses, and that's enough said on that. A couple of websites I included for some good information, where you can look up cases and things like that, so you can kind of look at those. So now we're to the big important pieces here, exams and quizzes. So the quizzes, exam questions are going to come directly from the textbook, lectures, PowerPoints, or designated articles or video. Each week you're going to have some type of reading assignment, a PowerPoint lecture. Again, you'll have the audio version as well. And a short quiz covering that corresponding chapter. In addition, there's going to be 3 chapter exams, 4 discussion board assignments. The first one, again, is the survey, and 1 writing assignment. And when I get to the actual schedule on how it lays out, you'll have a better visual on how that looks. All the dates of the quizzes, exams, and things are final, and the final, I'm sorry, are included in the syllabus. Now, here's an important thing for everybody to understand, okay? All lectures, PowerPoints, quizzes, exams, discussion information, and anything else are going to be available, again, in those weekly modules, and those modules open on Wednesday nights at 5 p.m. That's the beginning of the week, okay? All assignments are due by the following Tuesday at 11 p.m. Okay? I hope that makes sense to everybody. So this means that all quizzes, exams, discussion boards, essays, or anything else from that week have to be posted into Canvas by the following Tuesday night at 11 p.m. And since you have 6 to 7 days to complete each weekly assignments, there are no makeups. So understand that. Okay, so please make sure that you keep track of due dates. And again, I will do my best to remind you of due dates and other information, but it is at the end of the day your responsibility to know that. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. So kind of a more up-to-speed example. Class is going to officially open on Wednesday, August 16th at 5 p.m. So you're going to have 1 week or until Tuesday, August 22nd at 11 p.m. to complete everything in week 1. That's how the weeks kind of run. So hopefully that kind of makes sense to you. Keep in mind also that you're going to have a quiz basically each week. Even on those days that you have a chapter exam, you're still going to have a very short quiz because there's a quiz for every single chapter. And if you do well on those quizzes, you're going to do very, very well in the chapter exam. So use those quizzes kind of as a study guide as well. So understand that. So grades, basically it's on a point system, you know, and a percentage basis. You can kind of look here, 90% of the points, you know, to 100 will give you an A, and you can kind of look how it goes all the way down. Your total points are here. So you're going to have 3 chapter exams, as you can see here. Your 3rd chapter exam is your final. And your final exam is not cumulative, meaning that it doesn't go back and cover things that we've already covered. And I'll show you how that lays out in the schedule. So that should be a relief to some of you. You don't have to go back and look at chapter 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 if we're taking our 3rd exam, which is your final. Your midterm essay is 30 points. Your quizzes are 150. So your total points possible in the course are 330. Some important dates for you to know. Again, oh, and I did put it here, so we've got some extra credit, but again, understand that, you know, don't depend on that extra credit, but there is going to be extra credit available. Some important dates down here for you to look at. I'll let you look at those at your leisure. We'll talk about the midterm writing assignment. I'm also going to do a separate video lecture that I will post on Canvas regarding your midterm paper and citations and things like that. So that'll be available for you as well. So I'm not going to cover a lot of it in the syllabus review. Your research paper, however, though, is going to be this United States Supreme Court case, Tennessee versus Garner. It was a 1985 case, and you can look at the information that I'm asking for. And again, I will give you some more thorough information on it as well. But as you read through here, you can see how the paper needs to be formatted and what have you. Plagiarism, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but it's very important that you don't copy people's work. I'm going to let you read this at your leisure, but copying any part of a sentence from a text article or news story in a research paper without acknowledging the source or citing it is considered plagiarism. Okay? Copying and just changing a word or two is still plagiarism. You need to cite. Okay? And so basically the rule of thumb is if you didn't think of it yourself or it's not common knowledge, you need to cite it. If in doubt, cite it. You can't oversight. It's okay. And again, we'll walk through some of that information later on. So moving on a little bit, here's the course outline. This kind of shows you what's going to happen each week. So as you can see right here, class officially starts on August 16th, and which is what we're doing right now. We're going through the check-in. We're talking about course information, expectations, the syllabus review, assignments, quizzes, discussion boards, and things like that. And you have 1 week to get all of this done. Week 2 will start on August 23rd. That's a Wednesday at 5 p.m. This week will open. and you will have until the following Tuesday at 11 p.m. to review, listen to the Chapter 1 PowerPoint and lecture, and you'll have a weekly quiz. And these quizzes are basically 10 questions. They're multiple choice or true or false. And again, only 10 questions, 1 point per question, so a 10-point quiz. And this is kind of how you can look at it. So week two is this. Week 3, we're going to move on to Chapter 2. Week 4 is Chapter 3. And then we're going to add something. So notice here, week 5, you're going to do the same thing. It's Chapter 4. It covers the capacity to commit crimes. You're going to have the PowerPoint and the lecture. Okay. There's going to be a weekly 10-point quiz, but on here, there's one extra assignment. It's a discussion board. It's the second discussion board. Does that make sense? So you can go into the discussion board area, look at discussion board number 2, and that will be these will be the assignments that are due in week 5. So let's move on to one other thing so you'll understand how the flow really kind of works. So look at week 6, September 20th. It opens at 5 p.m., right? Chapter 5, Parties to a Crime. You'll have the PowerPoint and the lecture. There might be some other videos or things included in the module, but you'll see the links. You'll do the weekly quiz. Okay, so it's weekly quiz. It's going to be on this chapter. Okay, Chapter 5. And then you're going to have your first chapter exam. And it's going to cover chapters 1 through 5. So there's 2 assignments due here. So let's make sure we're on target. You're going to have the 10-question quiz right here that covers Chapter 5. And then during the same week, you're going to have your first chapter exam, which covers chapters 1 through 5. Go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. And you can look through here and you'll see different due dates for things. Week 10, that is when your midterm writing assignment is due. Now, sometimes I give extensions on that to the class. We'll see how the class is progressing, but right now as it stands, week 10 is our target date for that. And then you can kind of look the way it is. The only other thing that I want to point out here before we complete this, and we're going to make it under 30 minutes, that's great, is week 15. Yes, that's Thanksgiving Day or Thanksgiving week. So on November 22nd, this Wednesday, we're not going to have any class. So from Wednesday the 22nd through the following Tuesday, there are no assignments. However, this is where one of your extra credit assignments will be. Yes, it's the week of Thanksgiving, but it's not that hard, and you can get up to 15 points or so through these little extra credit assignments. So take a look in the extra credit area, okay, or in week 15, you go to week 15's folder, module, and you should see a little link there in that module that says extra credit. You click on that, it'll tell you what it is. You complete the extra credit. It doesn't take very long to do, and you have a possibility of up to 15 extra points. And then you can go all the way down to the end here, and you finally, week 18, when we're all done, is your final exam. Keep in mind that, again, let's go to the week prior so you have a good understanding here. December 6th, week 17 opens. You have all the way until the following Tuesday. Remember, at 11 p.m. to get this week done. Now, week 18 for your final, though, you have to do your final exam between these 2 days, or 3 days. So the 13th, 14th, or 15th, this final exam will be open. Now, we have a lot of time between now and then, so I will remind you, but I just wanted you to make sure that you kind of got all that information. So that's the syllabus. Please go through the syllabus in a little bit more detail so you have a really good understanding on what it looks like, and then get into your Canvas area and move around in the class. And what I wanted to do now is kind of just broaden this out a little bit so you can see what Canvas looks like. I want you to be able to, because it's a different look if you haven't used it yet. And we'll take a look at a couple of classes actually so you can see. So I'm going to move into just a couple of of classes so you can see what it looks like. So this is the instructor view, but typically you should kind of see the same thing. And when you go into a course, you're going to see on the left side, you'll see some things like home, announcements, assignments, discussions, and things like that. And in this one, you can see you've got some information from me and a picture of me. Gee, I actually had hair back then. And a little bit of an intro video and things like that. But now if you click on your modules area, okay, this is where all the important information is. So read this area here, important information. It talks about how to work your way through the modules. This whole area talks about the midterm essay. This is the subject for the midterm essay, and it'll show you how to upload it as well. So, and I've got an audio version of how to write APA, which is the format that we do. Just a regular PowerPoint, an example paper, a writing rubric so you can see kind of how we're going to look to grade and things like that. And then you come to week 1, and I just wanted to show you this so you could understand it. So this is week 1 module, okay? And in it is the course overview, okay, which talks a little bit about me and some things like that. Then you'll have like your first discussion board, which is the check-in. Now you should have already done this. If you haven't done this already, you need to do it now. So you're going to click on this discussion board and you're going to answer the questions there, and that's your check-in. There's the Bill of Rights PowerPoint, which I want you to kind of go through because I think it's really important. I also have a PDF version of the Bill of Rights PowerPoint, so if you don't have PowerPoint for whatever reason, you can look at it here as a PDF document. And then I have 4 or 5 videos on like our court system in the United States, and those are good videos to watch. And this is kind of week 1. So everything you need to do for week 1 is in this thing right here, in this module. Hopefully that makes sense to you. And then week 2, we'll have similar information, but just relative to week 2. So again, midterm essay, this gives you information there, some important information that I've posted here, the week 1 module here, and then each week we'll have a different module. I haven't finished building this class yet, but I wanted you to see what it is. So week 5 is going to be your next discussion board, but it will have other things inside of it. But each module is titled by week. So hopefully that visual kind of helps you out and you have a better understanding on kind of what that looks like. With that being said, back to our photo. And again, while we know vacation time is over, I welcome all of you to this criminal law class online. I think we're going to have a great semester. I will also, if I have a face-to-face class that's doing any type of guest speaker or hands-on project or things like we did last year, we did a DNA lab, which was really cool. I will invite any of my online students to attend any of those special guest speakers or hands-on type of activities that we do in face-to-face classes on either the San Jacinto campus or the Menifee campus. With that being said, that is the end of the syllabus review. Good luck, and again, welcome to Criminal Law Online AJ101. Talk to you soon.